Well, hi everybody, welcome back. You're here with Lisa Tamati and with Neil Wagstaff, and today we've got a fantastic episode for you. Neil, what are we actually talking about today?
Staying on the wagon today, Lisa. Staying on the wagon. We've all been falling off it at some point, you and I as well. So we thought it was about time to talk about how to stay on it and how to get back on it if you do have a couple of little trips.
So this is in regards to your nutrition, your eating plan, your training plan. You can use this in any direction that you want to go in. But we've compiled a few sort of top tips to help you, especially with your nutrition, if you're finding that you're falling off the bandwagon, and what you can do to help yourself. So the very first one that we wanted to bring up today is hydration. So if you are not hydrated properly, you're going to have trouble with your training. You're also going to have trouble. You're going to be hungrier. You're going to have a whole lot of problems going on. So, Neil, tell us a little bit about hydration and how this works and why you need to hyperhydrate the body.
The better hydrated the body is, the better it's going to operate. Your body is made up of water, and it should be made up of water. So the more that's coming into your body, good quality water. So we want to make sure you're getting good quality filtered water and making sure you've got the roughly right amount for your body size. So for me, sitting at around, I sit around 80 kgs. I usually go well on around 3 litres a day, just under. If I'm exercising, then I'll add another 500 mils to 750 for each hour of exercise, depending on how intense it is. And then don't miss the fact as well that if you're drinking teas and coffees, you need to replace each tea or coffee with another glass or so of water. Now, the body will function a whole lot better. The cells will do as they should. Your tissue will be a whole lot more pliable and a whole lot more softer if it's hydrated. So the body just does what it should. If you've got hydration in your body, then you're going to feel a whole lot better. You'll find your concentration will go up. Your brain will feel less cloudy. So it's a real easy win just to do straight out of the gate. The other thing from a nutrition point of view, if you feel hungry, go and have a drink. And then give yourself 10 minutes afterwards and see how you feel. It works in a couple of ways. It distracts you and can distract you from what you're feeling, the feeling of hunger. And then it lets you know if you truly are hungry. Yeah. So if it's just something that's habit-based and you're reaching for something because you want a snack or you want something sweet, try the water first and see what it does. I
like to do a super hydration in the morning. As soon as I get up, instead of having a big breakfast, I have a really good litre to a litre and a half of water, either with vegetables and things cut into it, lemon and ginger and turmeric and vegetables and things, or just even water, because I find that if you start the day off with a good kickstart, it kickstarts the metabolism, what you want to do, and so that you're actually set up for the day and you're not playing catch up the whole time. And typically when you've been asleep all night, if you're like me and you're a mouth breather, you got your mouth open all night, really good looking person when I'm asleep, you're dry, your whole system's dried out. We tend to, we're in bed for 8 or 9 hours, whatever we get to sleep, and you're pretty dehydrated in the morning. So start the day in a good way, and that sort of goes on to the morning routine. If you can get your morning routine sorted out, that's a whole topic in itself, but setting your day up right so that you're going in the right direction. Now, what are some of the other things that we wanted to pull out today? Let's talk about if you're on a diet or you're on a nutrition plan, I should say, I hate the word diet, getting an accountability partner, group of friends, somewhere that you have to interact with to stay on the course. And this is why, having a couple of mates that you're doing it with will keep you on track, or having a group that you have to report in, even if it's a Facebook group, and you're putting up your stats every couple of weeks or whatever it is, can really help. Because we are herd mammals, if you like. We ancestrally speaking, we have always been in groups and herds and tribes, and we react really well to social pressure. So whoever you surround yourself with, if you surround yourself with people who are eating pizza every night and going to KFC for lunch, then you're going to fall off the bandwagon. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are into healthy eating, who are sharing healthy recipes, who are talking about the importance of nutrition and the good sides of it. And this is valid for everything in life. Whoever your herd or your tribe is, or your pack is that you hang with, that you run with, is who you will become. And this is why it's super important that you hang out with people that are going places and hang out with people that are on the same mission as you. So finding a group of people that are into nutrition, that are into health, that'll help keep you on track and make you, because nobody wants to stand out as being the one who didn't do it. Social pressure is amazing what it can actually get you to do. And when people have expectations of you, this really helps you stay on track and stay focused, because they're going to pull you up next week when you see them and say, well, how have you been, so that's a really good
thing on that, Lisa, just how good it feels. That feeling which we've both had is when you haven't seen someone for a little while and they say, oh, you're looking good.
Yeah.
Or you check in with someone the following week and how'd last week go? It was amazing. That feels really good to be able to say that. And don't miss that feeling as you have it, because that's the feeling you want to tap into. That's the one you want week in, week out. That feels good.
Yes.
That really, really, really does feel good. It's like a good analogy. I was chatting to someone about the other day. If you imagine coming back to the water a little bit as well, you imagine a beautiful island, Fiji,
yep,
clear waters, beautiful sand, or you imagine a sludgy, dirty, old, stinking pond.
Oh yeah.
You want your body, and you want people to be looking at you like the island. And rather than the ponds, everything you put into the ponds is going to continue to get worse if you don't look after it. And the more water you put into your body, the more you stay on track with your accountability, the closer you get into the island.
So be like the tropical waters.
That's it. Like
Not the sludgy pond.
Not the sludgy pond. That's where you want to be with it. And accept that now and then you are going to fall off. It's all right that you are. We all do it. You and I were talking before we got on the onto the podcast. We've fallen off. It happens. And I think acceptance of that is all right. Where it becomes harder work is if you fall off and stay off. It's accepting you're going to get distractions. I've got 3 little ones that distract me all the time and stop me some of the time staying on point with what I need to do. That's part of it. You've obviously spending time with your mum throughout some parts of the day, and it will slow you down with some bits you want to do. But it's bits we both still want to do. I want to be running around with the kids. You want to be hanging out with mum. There's things we want to be doing. So it's how you fit the other bits into your life, and don't use it as an excuse or reason to go, oh, I can't do it today because this got in the way or that got in the way.
Yeah, and I think on that point is that we all have a massive, great critic in our heads, especially when we're older and we've been doing this for a while and we've tried 100 diets, or we've tried to start 100 training programs, and we've failed each time, right? And the big thing is, and I've been going to a psychologist, and I've got a very big critic in my head apparently, so I know what I'm talking about here. And the critic is very much, you aren't good. You aren't good enough. You're never going to do this. And this is a voice, I also use this analogy in running. You've got the lion and the snake on your shoulder, and the lion's the one who's cheering you on, telling you can do it. And you've got the snake on the other side, metaphorically speaking. I'm not crazy. And
a little bit
crazy. The snake is telling you that you're hopeless, you're useless, you've always failed. Why would this be any different? And that's the one that you've got to start punching in the face and telling it to piss off, because that is the one that's. And the thing is, you actually don't punch it in your face. The more you attack that thing, the stronger it will become. Okay, so what you actually need to do is to ignore it and start reinforcing the positive. Start listening more to that positive voice. Start having, I don't care what you think, but positive affirmations work. If I've got stuff all over my fridge, and I'm the master of this, and I'm the best at that, and these are things that I'm trying to suggest to my mind to think in a new way, if that makes sense. So if you start saying, oh man, I just ate half a packet of biscuits, that's it, I'm useless, oh well, I might as well eat the other half of the packet. That's what's going to happen. Instead of going, right, I just ate half a packet of biscuits, oh, that wasn't very good. Right, okay, what can I do? I better go for a bloody walk, or I go for a little run, and tomorrow I'm going to make sure that I've got my healthy snacks in my purse so that I don't fall into that trap tomorrow. Instead of berating yourself, and then what does that do? It puts you in a negative frame of mind, and then you spiral downwards and you eat the other half of the packet. I know, I've been there, done that. And it's stopping that critic from taking too much control in your head. And then distraction is the next thing, Neil. Talk about a little bit about distraction and impulse control.
Yeah, it's made sure when these things come up, which they will. So we talked about the acceptance, and accepting they will come up. we've always, you said, got voices in our head. Anyone that tells me they haven't got a voice in their head, I don't believe them. We've all got them, and I often have conversations with mine. And as you say, it's about having conversations that reframe it, make it positive, and putting some distractions in place. So if you get cravings that you want to go and eat something, or you're giving yourself every reason that you're not going to go and have your run, or give yourself every reason that you're not going to go to the gym, create a distraction. If it comes to going to want to get something when you're having a cup of tea in the evening, or a herbal tea, and you think, oh, I fancy something sweet with this, try 10 squats, try 5 press-ups, try sitting and focusing on a 5-minute box breathing exercise. Try something different just to see if it distracts your mind, if it reframes the situation and puts you in a position that you can go, actually, I've got control of this, because that feels good as well.
Yeah.
When you know you've got in control of it, that feels good. And then you know, if you do decide at any point, I'm going to give myself a treat, you're doing it consciously and you're doing it in control, rather than doing it, as you suggested, where you're putting yourself in a position that you're just putting yourself down. This is bad. You're taking control of the situation.
Yeah.
And we're all in a position where we can do that. It's those techniques you put in place. Going out for a walk. Right, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go and pick up a book and read a book. Plenty of things you can do. Try it and test it. They're real simple things. Gave you some examples there, but find the one that works for you, because once you've got your distraction, it works. And again, as we always say, we're talking not here from just study and just science, and we're talking about stuff we've been through ourselves, and we're having to apply ourselves. It takes discipline. It takes discipline. It takes a lot of discipline, and something you need to do. Another one that I find works really well, and we do this with the kids at home every evening with Ellen, Cam, and Annie, is at the end of the day around the dinner table, we're ask each other favourite parts of our day. So the kids will bring it up now. It's become such a part of our routine. They say, right, what's the favourite part of the day? And the idea of that is that it makes you find some good things in the day. The day can feel like, oh, that was a tough one. That was a challenging day. There was a lot of things going on. I was rushing around. But when you actually take a step back and actually have a think, right, what were the good things that happened today? Let's find a couple. And the kids will go around, me and Sam, and what was our favourite part? And just that whole process just can change your mind immediately. Often, if I've had a challenging day, the kids will say something that just goes, let's put it all back into perspective.
Yeah.
And same from Sam might say something and goes, I just really enjoyed having a cuddle in bed with the kids this morning. Or I'll say, I enjoyed seeing the kids running around after school. Any number of things, but those things will just really reframe where you're at.
Gratitude is such a powerful thing, because gratitude isn't something that just goes on in your head. Gratitude is something that actually affects your entire physiology. So we're not talking, now we are talking science, okay? This is actual science. When you go into a state of gratitude for something, then you're actually releasing those good hormones into the body, and you're de-stressing your body. So you're lowering your cortisol levels, you're actually increasing your good, your dopamine, your serotonin, your good ones that you want, and you're actually shifting and changing your physiology. So to have a gratitude routine every single day, either at the beginning of the day or the end of the day, or both, that can be a really good.
Write it down as well. For us, we talk about it as a family, but writing it down. So if it's something that you're, it might be you're on your own, or could be the kids have already left home. Any number of things, but then writing it down, so you're sharing it with yourself effectively. That's just as valuable, and also gives you something to look back on. It's a really fun thing to look back on in a month down the line. What are the good things of the month? And you can go back through your gratitude journal and find the good things. The other one, which we haven't talked about for a little while actually, is which was a game changer for me, was music. So with our epigenetics program, I've got some good advice that music is a good way for me to switch on my good genes, which all the things you were talking about before with the way I feel from a physiological point of view will give me a lift. So Sam and I used to have a huge CD collection that we'd be playing all the time, and then when the kids came along, that kind of got put in a box. So I've been Spotify on my phone now, and when I'm making dinner in the evening or hanging out with the kids, just simply by putting on some music, and we'll often put on music that takes us back a few years, and just having a dance. So having a dance, getting the kids to jump in and join in as well. Now they've actually got their own playlist now and want to put those on, and then we just that whole movement thing will again operates to distract you. It totally reframes where you're at, and leaves you feeling in a totally different headspace. So all these things you should try, and often it's when I start talking to people about it on a daily basis, sometimes you'll see people rolling their eyes, oh yeah, and then it's not until they actually try it and do it. We're so good, Lisa, at doing all the other things in life, like booking meetings, tracking all our stats at work, doing all the other things, but we just need to be as good at doing it for our bodies.
Systems and processes.
Yeah, exactly. We can go on that, but give your body the same attention that you give most other things in your life. And just having those little routines, like the music, the gratitude, it puts a smile on your face. It really will.
Yeah, and I think, like, you know, because we get so much into adulting, you know, I often say to my husband, he says, right, I've had enough being an adult today. I'm going to be an idiot, you know, and he's great at being an idiot. He's so funny, you know, and he'll just be doing some little dance around the place, doing something silly like a kid would. And it's actually good. So, like, you know, let's take off the adult mantle for an hour or two and just have some fun. Play with the kids, dance, be stupid. Stop being so freaking serious all the time, and life will get a bit lighter and a bit happier. And it can be a few minutes at a time. It doesn't have to be a whole hour of dancing. It's just having those little wee breaks throughout the day to reframe your mind. And, you know, some people have said to me, oh, I get bored at night. Far out, I'd love to be bored. You know, my brain is always learning. I'm always got a million projects on the go. To be honest, there's no reason in life to be bored. You know, I could do with slowing down a bit, not doing so much and taking a bit more time out. But, you know, you don't need to be bored. Find a hobby. Find something that you've always wanted to do. There shouldn't be any time where you're feeling absolutely...
The other thing on that note as well, mate, I totally agree with you, but also you turn the boredom, if it needs to be some of the time, into pleasure. If you've got the time where you can be sat there with some peace around you and with time, don't miss that opportunity as well. I chatted to someone at the gym the other day and said the same thing. Don't feel if you've got time and space, it needs to be filled. So it doesn't necessarily always have to be filled with something. It could just be something that you get comfortable doing, because from a physiological point of view, that's the perfect time for your body just to start winding down, dropping down. So you're 100% correct. There's so much you can do, and there's so many hobbies, interests. You can go out there. Another one on the fun side of things. We've bought a load of board games recently. So just things like that, where I've become a Connect 4 specialist in the past month. So playing that regularly, it's stuff that just makes you laugh, makes you want to go back to being a kid again and having fun. They're all great things. So I think the point I'm making is just when you've got time, fill it with something that's going to boost you from a physiological point of view, and give you that lift, give you the hormone release you want, and switch on those genes that you want to be switched on. Switching on the genes, and that is actually, we have a program called the Epigenetics Testing Program, which we're getting really, really great results with, because it's telling us these types of things exactly. It's like getting a user manual for your body. And we're going to be sharing over the next few weeks more about this program, because we're having some huge wins with our athletes and with people coming to us, that it gives you permission to be you when you understand how your specific sets of genes, like for you, Neil, being told that music is something that will help you release the dopamine and those good hormones and things into your body. So that's something that you learned out of that you can actually implement in your life. So it's not always about just what you put on your fork or how much kilometers you ran this week. It's not just about those things. It's about learning what times of the day to eat, how many meals of the day you should be eating, what your dominant hormones are, what type of exercise suits you and your body and where you're at right now. And that might not be, what you think it is. It might be something completely different. Understanding your whole personality type. This is a really, really powerful program that we're getting huge results. And I'm really excited to see that, the personalized health that's coming at us in the future is going to be so much more powerful than this cookie cutter, one size fits all. Everybody needs to go to the gym and smash themselves. Everybody needs to be on a very restrictive diet of stuff. We're getting away from that now. We're finding this for your set of genes works for you, and this for your set of genes is a completely different ball game. And then we're actually starting to get a whole lot more results as athletes and as coaches. We're seeing these results come through in this epigenetic
testing program. So we're really excited, and this is just the start of this sort of stuff. There's more and more coming. That Neil and I stay on the cutting edge of all this stuff all the time, and it's really, really exciting at what is coming down the pathway, and what we already have in the programs that we have. So do reach out to us if you want to know more about the epigenetics side of things, and how you can have everything sort of tailored and personalized and understand your own body, get that user manual for your body. It really, really does make a difference. Well, about to wrap up for the day, Neil, what's some quick tips for balancing blood sugar throughout the day? Because one of the main things that makes people fall off the bandwagon as far as nutrition is concerned is when they get to that point where they're starving and they're hungry, and anything will do. You're just shoveling it in like there's no tomorrow because your blood sugars are out of sync. So talk us through a little bit the science of that and what you can do to keep your blood sugars on a nice even keel.
One other thing is eating for your body type. So there's certain people that can eat an apple and it'll keep them full for a couple of hours.
Yep.
Others will eat an apple and afterwards they find that they're just starving within seconds. So eat the right foods for your body type, and you can do some simple testing for that by maybe having bacon and eggs for breakfast one morning and some fruit the next, and see how quickly you get hungry again. So you can start to see what foods work for you. Mm-hmm. The other thing is making sure you're prepared with snacks. So if you have breakfast in the morning and then leave and home without any snacks, and have to reach for something that is sugary, is processed, then that's just going to again put you on that wave of highs and lows, and that's what you want to avoid. So choosing snacks that it could be nut based, taking a small bag of almonds. If fruit works for you and it's keeping you full, then fruit and nut snacks as a combination can work well as well. Making sure you're eating well at lunchtime is a very basic rule of thumb. A good thing to try as well is think your breakfast like a queen, lunch like a princess, and dinner like a pauper. So you're having more of your calories earlier on in the day, mm-hmm. and then you've got the opportunity to use them throughout the day. And choosing foods that are ideally organic, freshly grown, staying away from your processed foods, staying away from your white flours, your white sugars, your white breads. Simple little things like that will start to really help you stabilize your blood sugar out. Where we often fall down is, and we've all been there, as we get to mid-afternoon, we haven't had a good enough breakfast. We've then had a sugary snack in the morning. We then miss lunch or have a small lunch. And by the time we get to mid-afternoon, we are craving whatever we want. And we're going to devour, a muffin and a coffee, and then same cycle again. Yeah. So it's been probably the biggest tip I can leave everyone is just be prepared. Understand that you're going to need to be flexible.
Yep.
But be prepared. So night before, if you're cooking, big believer in cooking once, eating twice. So cook extra on a Monday night that you can then have ready for lunch on a Tuesday.
And watch for those hidden sugars and things. I hope people know this already, but a lot of the sauces that you buy pre-packaged, and this is why cooking from scratch, if you can, is ideal. So things like a can of tomato sauce is just laden with sugar. A lot of the others are laden with preservatives or massive amounts of salt. There's a whole lot of stuff that's crap that we are taking in all the time and is actually not doing us good. So if we can cook our food from scratch, from real food most of the time, then we're on to a winner for starters. And what happens when you have a very high, sugary snack, for example, it spikes your blood sugars, and then the body drops that down. So the insulin drops it down to get it into the cells. And when it drops it, that's when you suddenly get hungry again. So it's actually causing more hunger, which is counterintuitive. You think, I'll have a chocolate bar and then I won't feel so hungry. Well, actually, you're going to be even more hungrier in about 3/4 of an hour's time, because it's dropped it, and then you're going to go the seesaw effect. Whereas you have something that's a little bit of protein or even good fats, half an avocado or something like that, that can set you up for a good 3 or 4 hours and you're not actually hungry. And all of this, of course, if you have the epigenetics done, then you know exactly the types of things that will work for you. Like for me, almonds are off my list. You know, they're not good for my body type, and yet they are for yours. So when you know the exact things, of course, that gets a little bit easier. But if you don't have that, then you can at least grab to the ones that generally are healthy, and that can help you work out things. All right, Neil, so I think we're going to wrap this up for today. Any last sort of words of wisdom for staying on the bandwagon with your training?
Yeah, I think we've covered. Yeah, we've covered some good stuff there. Hopefully, those that are listening will be able to take one or two of those points. Yeah, the last parting comment would be: don't try and do them all at once. Take one or two, test and play with them. All your bodies are going to be different, so you'll respond slightly differently. So test the things we've suggested, see what responses you get, and reach out to us with email, via Messenger, Facebook if you've got any questions, because we're here to help.
Yeah, so that would be fantastic. So you can either reach me at lisa@lisatamati.co.nz, or you can reach Neil at runninghotcoaching.com, or you can visit our website, lisatamati.com, and all our programs are up there. We are everywhere on Instagram at Lisa Tamati. Check out our YouTube channel. We've got over 500 videos on there, I think. Meanwhile, it's a hell of a lot of work we've done. We'd love to help you. Reach out to us, ask us the questions around your running, around your mindset, nutrition, fitness, weight loss, anything that you're having a struggle with. If you want to know about the epigenetics program, then do please get in touch with us. And thanks for joining us today. We'll see you again soon.